Yeah. I'm not sure where to start.
What the Oh, shit.
My artistic ability is probably not that big of a secret. All of the graphics that I've done here on the channel before, and all of the drawings like the Colonel Twerkins logo, that's all me. Long ago, I was an avid comic book collector. I started off in the mid 80s, and then in the 90s, my mom, because I didn't really read that many, but then when she bought me my first subscription box, I actually got into Amazing Spider-Man and New Warriors, and then eventually I got into a lot of other stuff, Punisher, Daredevil. Oh man, I love Daredevil. And then I got into the Image Comics and all of the 90s boom, which, you know, people have their opinions of the 90s. But anyway, I kept reading comics, and all the while I wanted to be a comic book artist, and I just kept drawing, and I kept improving, but I went to school for art. I first went to Art Institute, and then I went to a school out in California, but I just didn't stay consistent with it. I don't know, I had this thought that I was better than what I really was, and that I was too special. I didn't need to go through all of the steps to get there. I just kept moving on through my life, got into music, and just kind of left comics behind. I mean, I tried to get into the industry at that time. There was only really a couple different ways. You either got a publisher, or you printed it on a Xerox machine, or you got with some of the big companies, which that's more than a couple things. I just moved on to music, and I did okay with that, and my love of comic art, it just stuck with me. So fast forward to 2018, the desire was just too strong for me, man. When I felt like I needed to do something with the talent that I have and not give up on myself, and to show my kids that when you start something, you gotta finish it, right? So I started taking a couple of art classes, and it was clear that I wasn't as rusty as I thought I was, which was good, but I had definitely not improved in the confidence department. I just didn't feel like I was really ready yet. And a lot of it came from overthinking things, making a character design or a panel layout, a page layout. I'm just like, man, this is just, I'm thinking I'm going to do everything wrong. So a fear of failing was what was really doing me in. And, you have to fail faster. You have to, let yourself have these failures. But I figured, well, what can I do? And it just started bothering me. I was feeling like I'm so, in my mind, I'm great, but I didn't want to do the work that it took to get there, or at least I felt like I didn't need to. And so there I was thinking about giving up again. I mean, geez, I was 43 at the time. That was last year. And I thought, why am I wasting my time again? Why am I going to let myself, what is the point? What is the point? But you can't give up. And I didn't give up. What I did was I just started searching around for tutorials and things like that. And other than what I learned in class, it was at this time, though, that I had discovered the comicsgate movement, about consumers who wanted good comics, good stories and art, but they didn't want all of the identity politics, and they didn't want this cavalier and catty attitude that the big companies had, through their artists and writers and stuff, and telling them to, screw off, and well, I don't care if you buy our books, you know what I mean? Which was like amazing. Like, how do you say that, right? And so from that point, I discovered Comicartist Pro Secrets, which is Ethan Van Sciver's channel. And then I discovered the former Diversity in Comics, which is now Comics Matter with your boy Zach, Blacklist Universe, John Malin, and a lot of others. And there was a deep push in the movement for us to think outside the box. So I came up with a plan. And this is when I met my artist, Ibai Canales, who's from Spain. I pitched him the book. He loved the concept. It was right up his alley. And so he was in. but I would have to wait almost a year for him to be free to do it. This brings us to this moment. And if you're still with me, I appreciate it. For those who feel the need to unsub, I won't hold it against you. I don't want you to feel obligated to content that just doesn't interest you. I assumed that if you like DCUO and or comics, you might enjoy what I have in store. So just quickly, my project of many to come is called Johnny's Law. It's about an elite assassin. Wait, why don't I just show you the trailer? Johnny is a former gangbanger who was a military prodigy who came home and fell back into the life as the hitman for the Trust. This is a group of 4 capos who work for the West Side Cartel, and they serve an unseen patriarch known only as the Don. Eventually, Johnny wanted out. The main book picks up years later with Johnny in New York around 2009, and then it goes 10 years to the present. If you're interested in Johnny's early days with the Trust, I wrote a 10-page prequel. It features art by Cesar Feliciano. He's the artist on The Red 10 and his own book, Chongo the Broken Veil. And you'll get it free, the 10-page prequel. It's called Johnny's Law Ronin, when you sign up for our mailing list. The link is in the description. If we meet one of our stretch goals, we will print it as a proper sequel in the book. All my social media will be listed in the box below again. And as for Tarkov and DCUO, probably not. Too much to do for this new content. But I will say thanks again for being there for me. If you leave, God bless you. If you're sticking around, let's go.